This week, I'm going to lead you through a twisting slow flow practice for releasing tension, especially around the shoulders and along the spine. So we're going to do a rather slow-paced practice, nothing too strong, but you'll definitely get your whole body moving. Let's get started. For this week's practice, you don't necessarily need any props, but we're going to spend quite a lot of time on the knees. So if you know that you know some padding under the knees, you could have a cushion or a blanket there. And if you usually like to use blocks, then there might be a few poses where you want to use a block, but I'll lead you through this practice without any props as we are trying to flow through the poses. And our first pose today is going to be child's pose with crossed arms, so they're kind of broken wings arms sitting, and you can cross your arms either way. Just remember which arm you crossed on top in the first round, because then we're going to do the same pose in the very end, and then we'd like to cross the arms the other way. I'm going to cross the arms so the right arm is on top of the left, and then on the shins, on the knees, we're going to lean into child's pose so that the arms stay crossed, the backs of the hands, elbows come down onto the mat. And then you could lean your head down as well. Now, if this double broken wings pose feels too much now, then you have the option to just cross the right arm under the left, kind of under the left armpit, and just release the left arm to your next to you on the left side as well. So that would make the pose a bit more gentle. But if you like the idea of double crossing, then have your both arms going to the opposite side or the hands going to the opposite side and lean into your child's pose. Legs could be wider apart, so feel free to adjust the lower body as well. And then find your breath. When you have found the physical pose where you feel you could spend about 5 breaths, then bring your full awareness to your breath. And breathe especially towards the back of the ribs, the back of the shoulders. Trying to create a bit more space on the back side as you breathe in. And then release the shoulders, soften the chest, soften the upper back as you exhale. Make sure there's no pinching, no pain in the shoulders. If you start to feel pinching, or if your fingers, if your hands go numb, then that would be a sign to release the arms and just go into a regular child's pose without crossing of the arms. And wherever you are in your child's pose, take another breath in and out. And then we'll start to slowly find our way up using the core, using the back muscles. Bring yourself up. You could roll the shoulders a couple of times. And then we're going to come onto all fours, onto hands and knees. Or if your wrists are very sore, tender now, you could also do this on elbows and knees. We start to now circle the weight from knees to hands, from hands to knees. Allowing the hip joints to move, allowing the shoulders to move, and allowing that ball socket joint to roll. You could change the direction and start to slowly bring a bit of movement into the spine as well. Just kind of letting the spine wave as you're circling from your hands to the knees. Let your neck move as well. We'll do a couple more circles. And still breathing in and out. And then find the weight to center, what feels like center to you now. And we're going to go into thread the needle twist. And you have an option to either keep both knees on the mat, or if you want, you can extend your right leg out to the right side. So it's roughly in line with your hips. Either way, leave your right hand on the mat. And then as you inhale, twist to the left. You could just lift your left elbow up. You could extend the arm if you want, but just turning the chest is plenty enough. Next exhalation, slide your left arm onto the mat. Bring the outside of the shoulder, head onto the mat. And very gently, either press down through that right hand to create a bit more of a twist. Or you could also bring your right arm behind the back. Maybe even reach for the left inner thigh. That might help your twist as well. Send your breaths to your chest space and to your ribs. Make sure you leave space for the breath. We'll take one more breath in and out here. And then slowly bring that right hand onto the mat, close to the right shoulder. Press down through the right hand and inhale once more, twist out to the left again, maybe just reaching the elbow up. And release both hands on the mat, hands about under your shoulders. If you have that right leg next to you, just slide your right leg behind you and then lift your right leg up into the air. So although even if you spend time just on the knees, now extend the right leg behind you, open the chest. A mini balance here. And then release that right knee down. You can adjust your pose. We'll do that same to the other side. So now either extend the left leg to your left side or keep both knees on the mat. And on this side, left hand stays down first. We're going to now inhale, turn chest to the right. And it could be just your right elbow reaching up. That's very, very enough, if you can say that. And then slide your right arm, the right shoulder, head on to the mat. And again, maybe you keep the left hand on the mat, maybe even pressing down slightly through that left hand. Or you could bring your left arm behind the back. Maybe reach left hand to the right inner thigh. Take hold of the thigh, and that might help you to open the chest, roll the left shoulder back. All the time breathing. If you notice that you stop breathing, if you're holding your breath, then that might be a sign that we're taking the pose too far. Take another breath in and out. And then release the left hand back under the left shoulder. Press down and inhale. Twist once more to the right. Reaching the right elbow up. And then bring hands down. And we're going to now extend the left leg behind us. And lift the left leg up into the air. Open the chest slightly. Breathe, balance here. And then bring your both knees down. And now sit down onto the shins. We're going to step hands behind the pelvis into a baby camel. So either keep your pelvis down close to the heels, or as you inhale, you could now lift your pelvis slightly off the feet. Find a bigger back bend. Lean onto the hands, lift your chest up. You might even drop your head back if that feels good in the neck, or you could bring chin towards the chest. Take another breath in and out. And exhale, release the pelvis down. Come back into a seat, into a hero seat. Now from here, we're going to open the arms and find eagle arms. So first side, I'll turn a bit sideways. First side, bring your right arm on top as you cross your arms. Either reach hands onto opposite shoulder or twist your arms into full eagle so that you reach your palms together. Bring elbows to roughly shoulder height. Drop the shoulders down. Either stay here or exhale, drop your chin down towards the chest. Keep the elbows hovering. And again, breathe towards the back of the shoulders. So we're trying to create some space around the back side, around the shoulders. Keep the neck free, keep tops of the shoulders soft. Take one more breath in and out. And then with the next breath, release the arms, open the arms. Again, I'll turn slightly. Now bring hands behind your back, behind the pelvis. Interlock fingers and inhale, open the chest. If it feels good, you could press the heels of the hands together. Opening the chest space, opening through the front of the shoulders. One more breath here. And then exhale, release. And very surprisingly, we'll do those eagle arms to the other side. So now we're going to cross the arms. So that left arm is on top of the right. Again, you can reach for the opposite shoulder or twist the forearms around each other. And check their space between the shoulders and ears. Bring elbows to roughly shoulder height. If you want, you could exhale, drop your chin towards the chest. And again, keep breathing into that space between your collarbones. And then breathe to that space between your shoulder blades. Does it feel different to breathe to the front than breathe to the back? Just notice how it feels. You can swap those breaths. We'll take another one in and out. And then slowly release the arms. And once more, bring your arms behind the back. Interlock fingers. Open the chest. Very gently draw your hands and arms away from the shoulders. And then release that back bend. You can roll the shoulders. And then we're going to come back onto hands and knees. And from here, we're going to tap the toes under and lift into a downward facing dog. So opening through the backs of the legs after that long hero seat. You can move a bit from one foot to the other. You can shake the head from side to side. And then we're going to continue stepping the left foot forward into a low runner's lunge. So you shift the weight forward to hands. Step your left foot forward. And from here, we're going to walk the hands, turn the feet towards the long side of the mat into half squat. So you still leave your right leg out on the side. And you can either stay here, maybe supporting that left knee open with your left elbow. Or if you want to add a twist, leave your right hand on the inside of the right leg and then twist out to the left, reaching your left arm behind the back, behind the pelvis, maybe bringing left hand again, to the right inner thigh, opening chest to your left. You can look out to the side, you can even look higher up. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale, release that twist. Bring both hands down and then lean the pelvis onto the mat. Still keeping that left foot on the mat, so still kind of half squat, but you might step that left foot a bit further out to the side. We're going to go into side bend. So here, you could slide your right hand closer to your left foot and then inhale, lean towards that right leg, maybe even taking hold of your left ankle with the right hand. Quite intense side bend. So you're kind of hanging from that left ankle with the right hand. Of course, that's very optional. If that feels that it's going too far, you could always bring your right elbow onto the mat, so you're kind of supporting yourself a bit higher up. So see where it's good to go. We'll take another breath in and out, finding your own edge. And then with in-breath, bring yourself back up. And now we're going to help with that right hand to bring that left foot to the other side of the right thigh. Hug the left knee with the right arm and step the left hand behind you. Inhale, lengthening the back up. Exhale, twist just a bit further to the left. So finding a seated twist. And if you like to use blocks, you could have a block under that left hand, or maybe just lift onto fingertips in that left hand. Take another breath in and out. And then we're going to release the twist, so release the upper body. And again, with hands, you could now help your left shin into a pigeon. So we're turning to a pigeon pose. And here as well, if you like to use blocks, you could have a block under the left hip. Make sure you're not hurting in the knees. You can also lean the weight more onto the left hip. You can rock from side to side to find your pigeon. Good angle for your knee, for your hip. And then if it feels that it's enough to stay in the center, to stay there, if you want to add a twist, then start to turn your chest to the left, reach the left arm behind you. An option to bend your right knee and reach the left hand to the right foot. But you can do the twist without bending the right leg as well. So it could be just turning your chest to the left. Couple of breaths in and out. You can bend the right elbow. And then we'll release that pigeon. Bring both hands to the mat. And we're going to step into a downward dog. So ground the hands and lift yourself up into downward dog. Might be a nice place to move the hips. Move from one hand to the other. So we're going to do all of this to the other side. So now we're going to step the right foot forward. First into that runner's lunge, and keep your feet mobile here as we walk hands towards the long side of the mat. And you possibly need to adjust where the feet are. So let your feet move, finding that half squat on the other side. And again, you could stay in the center where your right elbow is supporting the right hip to stay open if you feel you're starting to twist in the knees. Or you can add a twist. So then you need to actively keep the right hip open. You can leave your left hand on the mat and then twist to the right, bringing the right arm behind the back, behind the pelvis. Maybe the right hand reaching for that left inner thigh. Make sure you're not collapsing into your hips. So you're still kind of slightly pressing yourself away from the mat with your feet. One more breath in and out. And then we're going to release the twist. Bring both hands down and then sit down onto the mat. And we're going to go for that side bend. You can adjust where the right foot is. And now you can reach your left hand to the opposite side, closer to the right foot, or maybe even take hold of the right ankle. And then start to lean towards that left leg. And again, you might still move your right foot, especially if you're holding the ankle. You can also bring that left elbow on the mat, on the inside of that left leg. Choose, again, your edge. Where do you find a side bend, but it's not too intense? Keep the shoulders soft. Take another breath in and out. And then inhale, come slowly up from that side bend. And now bring that right foot to the outside of your left thigh. So going for that seated twist next. Now left arm hugging the right knee. Step your right hand behind you. Inhale, lift gently up. And exhale, twist to your right. And more finding that twist through the ribs, through the chest, through the upper spine. And then you could add your neck, your head into that twist, but that's very optional. Take another couple of breaths in and out. And then we're going to exhale, release the twist. And now hands could help your right shin to move towards the pigeon. Then bring hands on the mat. So let yourself adjust. Adjust your hips, your knees, those angles. And again, it might be nice to rock a bit from side to side. So let your knee, your foot find a good place for them. Again, maybe there's a prop under the right buttock. You choose. And you don't have to add a twist here. Maybe just that centered pigeon, proud pigeon feels good for you now. But you have the option to leave left hand down and then reach the right arm behind you. So you're adding a twist. Or you might even bend the left knee, reach your right hand to the left foot or ankle to support in that twist. It probably gives quite a big stretch at the front of that left leg as well. So you choose again, what's your edge on this side today? Might be different from the last time you did this pose. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly release. Bring both hands on the mat. And now from this pigeon, lean on to the right hip. So you could come into a seat, bring both legs in front of you. Make sure there is some space behind you. And we're going to come lie down on the back. Do a couple of windshield wipers from side to side. And we are doing a twisting practice. So I think we need to add a reclining twist here. And you're going to have an option to either keep legs kind of just next to each other. So bring legs to the center, but don't cross them. Or the alternative would be eagle legs. So if you want, you could now lift your left leg up, cross the left knee, left thigh around on top of the right thigh, and then twist by bringing legs to your right side. So whether you're doing eagle legs or normal legs, whatever is normal, but if you are not crossing the legs, then also bring your legs to the right side Sorry, my explanation is not very clear today. I clearly can't speak. Either way, whatever your legs are doing, bring them to the right side of the mat. Open your chest so you find that reclining twist. Give a few breaths for yourself there, in and out. It might be that your left shoulder comes off the mat. That is very fine. The left arm could either be extended on the side, or you could bring your left hand closer to your body. See how the shoulder feels. It could be a very nice opening around the shoulder, but if it's too intense, bend your arm. One more breath in and out. And then we'll need a bit of core support as we exhale, come out of the twist, bring legs back to center. Now, if you crossed your legs and release that crossing, you could rock the hips, the knees a bit from side to side. And you can make it same choice or a different choice on the second side. So either, again, legs next to each other, or you could now lift your right leg up into the air, cross the right leg on top and around the left leg, and then bring both legs to your left side. Again, here, the right shoulder can happily come off the mat. You could keep your right hand close to your body, or you could extend the right arm further out. Make sure you're not hurting. You're not hurting in the shoulders. Make sure you're not hurting anywhere along the spine. Especially with the eagle legs, the twist in the spine might be quite intense. So make sure it's not hurting you. We're not here to hurt the body. We are here to look after the body. And you might at any point change the choice for the legs. Take another breath or two in and out. And then slowly, again, with core support, exhale, bring the legs back up to center. Release any crossing you had in the legs. You could swing the legs a bit from side to side. For a moment, extend your legs. Just releasing the knees from that bent position. And after a few breaths in our mini Shavasana pose, we're going to end the practice in that child's pose with those broken wings arms. So, but surely you can make a choice. If you don't want to add that child's pose, just stay in Shavasana pose. That is very fine. But I'm going to invite you to come into child's pose with that crossing in the arms. So especially if you started your practice with those broken wings arms, then we'll do the same here. So come into that kneeling pose once more. In the beginning, I had my right arm on top of the left. So I'm going to now bring left arm on top of the right and then lean forward into child's pose. And see how the broken wings feel in the shoulders now at the end of the practice, but also on the second side. And again, you have the option to only cross the left arm under the chest. So you could also release the right arm to your right side if the double crossing doesn't feel good. You choose where you want your last twist to be. So now that twisting, that crossing is in your arms, in the upper body. And give yourself another 5 breaths here, in and out. You can play with that breath, moving
between the collarbones and your shoulder blades, in the upper spine, shoulder area. Maybe one more breath in and out. And then slowly start to roll the back up. Release the arms. And roll the shoulders. And you'll have an option to go back into Shavasana pose if you like. Or you might now close the practice. I thank you very much for joining in. I hope you enjoyed and felt quite nice with some twisting through the spine and shoulders. Do let me know how the practice felt for you. So leave your comments, your questions below. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining in. And if you did enjoy the practice, give the video a thumbs up and share the practice with anyone you think might need a bit of full body movement, full body twisting. Thank you very much for joining in, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.